Right now at 10, a warning from tech experts this holiday season about a popular home security device.
And police in Middleton say they have made 3 arrests connected to a threat that closed 2 schools yesterday.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Plus, a special surprise for a Prairie du Sac man fulfilling his final Christmas wish.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
First at 10, imagine voices from outside your home speaking to people inside by hacking into your security camera.
There have now been multiple incidents reported. Gabriela Becerra joins us now with what cybersecurity experts say is at risk when these devices are placed inside your home.
This viral video from Mississippi shows a young girl in her bedroom when a stranger's voice comes through the device's speaker. He told her that he was Santa Claus, asking her to be his friend. Watch this.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend. I'm Santa Claus. I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
That's always a recipe for disaster.
Madison College information security instructor Mike Messino says people find a way into these security devices and then share that information online.
Manufacturers secure them, they set them up, but generally speaking, eventually somebody always finds a way into them.
Making it possible for a camera or microphone inside your home to be hacked.
And as long as there's a microphone and there's a camera in your house, it can, as well as it works for you, it can work for somebody who wants to listen in or watch what's going on.
His advice, if you're comfortable with people seeing what the camera sees or hears, then put a camera there.
Assume that somebody's going to get into it. Is it acceptable for me that somebody can watch my driveway? Maybe yes or no, and it depends.
But that risk is always there.
What risks with this you're willing to accept? I mean, that's really it, you know what I mean? Is it worth more to you to be able to watch the bedroom and take the chance that it's not going to get broken into, I mean, it's not rampant, where like every camera is getting broken into, but it's a possibility.
If you have a camera or listening device that has been compromised or hacked, Messino recommends disconnecting it and not using it again.
Gabriela Becerra reporting tonight. Gabby, thank you.
The Adams County District Attorney has filed charges against Robert J. Olson in connection to a missing person case. Olson is charged with hiding a corpse, providing false information on a missing person, and obstructing an officer. On November 23rd, a hunter came across human remains in a wooded area in Adams County belonging to 24-year-old Anastasia Evans. The investigation is ongoing. Several hidden cameras were found in students' hotel rooms during a school-sponsored trip to Minneapolis last weekend. A spokesperson for the Madison School District confirmed students from East High School found the devices in their rooms. The Minneapolis Police Department is investigating in coordination with Madison Police. The MMSD spokesperson says a Madison East teacher who was chaperoning the trip has been placed on leave during this investigation.
Police in Middleton say they've identified the individuals whose online threats forced the high school and the Clark Street Community School to close yesterday. The district says 3 students were involved, all of whom have been suspended. Charges of unlawful use of computerized communication systems will be referred to the Dane County District Attorney against 17-year-old Jacob Ripp. Charges against 2 16-year-old males will also be referred as a party to the crime.
Let's get a look at our first alert forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Well, this morning we had a little bit of slippery road surfaces and a couple of accidents thanks to some freezing drizzle. But the time lapse from the WISC-TV sky cam shows we had cloudy skies for much of the day. The precipitation that we had was generally pretty light, just some light rain, a little bit of freezing drizzle and some snow flurries. And now skies remain mostly cloudy. On Doppler track, you can see how the precipitation moved through pretty quickly, and things have been very quiet this evening. High temperatures so far today, 39 in Madison, 43 in Janesville. It's still in the upper 30s from Madison to the south and west, but notice north and west of the Dells, temperatures are in the 20s. So that's where some freezing drizzle or some flurries could develop, and we could see that overnight. Tomorrow we could look for some drizzle or maybe a couple of flurries in the afternoon with a high of 36. But later on I'll talk about a forecast that includes colder weather for the weekend and then a quiet week next week.
Employees in the Madison School District want to see change in the disciplinary policy in place.
Well, this comes after News 3 Now broke the story yesterday about the Jefferson Middle School student who shot another student with a BB gun, had earlier threatened to shoot up everyone in the school after dozens of other incidents on his record. The person we spoke with today wants to remain anonymous. They said the disciplinary policy in place does not work for everyone. They want to see the district really put effort into providing students with the rehabilitative support they need to change their behavior rather than focus on how much or how little punishment to give them.
I don't necessarily think that punishment and consequences are going to change a child's behavior when a child has been exhibiting the same behaviors over and over and over again. When you get to that point where the consequences aren't causing the child's behavior to change, then you got to do something different.
Now, we also reached out to the school district to answer questions we had about their policy. They said in part that behavior change can take time, and they try to respond in a way that is just and equitable.
Leaders in a small Rock County community are concerned about the number of sex offenders being located in a former motel. The building, which operates as the Jesse Crawford Recovery Center in the town of Harmony, is currently home to 8 sex offenders. The center was designed to treat those with addiction to drugs or alcohol, but its president and CEO says the Department of Corrections has been asking them to take in more offenders.
My belief is that sex offenders need a place to live, like anyone else in our community. And in a situation like this, at least they're monitored.
But the town's administrator is concerned that there's been little to no communication that this would be happening. He's also concerned about the building's zoning, saying its conditional use permit is still for a motel. Crawford says he's willing to meet with the board if necessary.
Madison police say this woman, LaCandace Walker, attacked a staff member at Orchard Ridge Elementary School on Madison's west side yesterday. Witnesses say Walker came to the school looking for several staff members about how they had disciplined her child. Police say the woman grabbed a staff member by the hair, punched her in the face, threw her to the ground, and started kicking her. Other staff members pulled the suspect off the victim, who was rushed into a nearby locked office. Walker faces charges for felony battery to a school employee and disorderly conduct. The victim was taken to the hospital and treated for facial and head injuries.
Members of the House Judiciary Committee are expected to vote on the articles of impeachment against President Trump tonight. They are in their second day of heated debates, split along party lines. Republicans tried for hours to change or throw out the articles, but Democrats had the votes to block their attempts. The two sides remain bitterly divided as they debate sending the articles of impeachment to the full House. President Trump has signed off on an initial trade agreement with China. Sources say the agreement would avoid new U.S. tariffs and reduce the rates of existing duties in exchange for a Chinese promise to purchase American farm goods. Trump already announced the broad contours of the Phase 1 deal in October. The two sides have been haggling over specifics since then.
Not much has changed when it comes to how the public views impeachment, according to the latest Marquette Law School poll out today. When comparing December numbers to those from November, those supporting the impeachment and removal of the president has stayed the same, 40%. Those opposed dropped just 1% to 52%. When it comes to head-to-head general election matchups, the poll shows potential Democratic candidate Joe Biden ahead of the president by 1%, but President Trump slightly ahead of other potential candidates Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, and Cory Booker, all, however, within the margin of error. The Federal Communications Commission is moving ahead with plans to designate a 3-digit number to reach the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 988. The 5-member commission unanimously voted today to approve the proposal, which is now open for public comment and start the rulemaking process. A new development called Madison Yards says it has signed a lease with Whole Foods Market to serve as an anchor store and take up to 50,000 square feet of the development. According to the development's website, Madison Yards is a future-focused community serving the open, engaged, and progressive Madison culture. In addition to the Whole Foods, there will be office and medical space, a walkable green plaza and hotel, more than 400 residential units, and more than 100,000 square feet of retail, restaurants, and entertainment space. It'll be located at the intersection of University Avenue at North Seago Road.
Over the past week, a Prairie du Sac man with stage 4 pancreatic cancer has been asking for cards as his final Christmas wish. Well, today he got a visit from a group of 5th graders.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom
This is Grand Avenue's 5th grade chorus under the direction of Glenn Schuster, sharing their Christmas wishes with Gene Wittenhiller. Many of these students have also made cards for Gene, which were delivered this morning. Just some of the thousands he has already received. Still ahead tonight, we are just one day from the weekend. Gary will have his full forecast with what we can expect.
Plus, surviving Wisconsin's winter with a Scandinavian state of mind, something we may want to adopt before the next cold snap or blizzard hits. That story next.
For an accurate forecast you can trust, watch First Alert Weather.
UW-Madison giving its students some stress relievers during finals week. Dogs on Call is bringing in dogs of all shapes and sizes to motivate students and also maybe take an edge off a bit. Today is a study day at UW, but finals will officially start tomorrow. Dogs on Call comes to the university about 65 times a year after finding research that shows dogs can help a student's academic performance. We've already seen significant snow and stretches well below freezing, and we haven't even hit the official start of winter yet.
Federal forecasters predict a warmer, wetter season in southern Wisconsin. Danica Lewis has some tips for surviving without sun and snow before we start feeling like winter will never end.
To look forward to the rest of winter, perhaps it's time to look back.
The story is told on a daily basis here.
Way back.
We had a ski jump here in Stoughton at one time, and it was behind the hospital, which I would say is a good place to put it.
It's one of the ways early Norwegian settlers,
expecting to have this glorious future,
embraced their familiar surroundings.
And today we're here only because of them.
Just as Kathy Ferris has embraced her family's story.
Because it tells the story.
Using things like an antique trunk to tell that story, one that's still being written.
I think little bits of Norway float through Wisconsin still today. Whether people realize it or not.
It begs the question, with weather more cold and blustery here in Wisconsin, how did the Scandinavian soul of Stoughton survive? Perhaps the same reason visitors continue to come to this heritage center.
You just can't help but feel a hug when you come in here.
Or why Nita Schmidt
You hunker down inside and you're cozy.
feels so content.
You can ignore the weather or you can embrace the weather.
For the Danish native, winter is something to look forward to.
Let's get together, do something that's cozy.
And it comes down to a cultural concept.
The inherent knowledge, the subconscious knowledge of hygge. How do we hygge?
Hygge exists in places like Denmark and Norway. The word encompasses the feeling of coziness with others, particularly in the colder months.
There's got to be time to light candles.
Yes. Candles.
Perhaps a soft blanket.
Warm socks. Holiday treats.
Or a nice cup of cocoa. And most of all, doing any or all of the above with people you care about.
Stay inside, kind of get into tribal mode. You're all inherently on the same page as regards customs, traditions.
Connecting that's connected to the past.
It's the warmth, the closeness.
Knowing that looking back hundreds of years.
Yeah, the heritage is definitely very strong.
Could help us tough out the few months to come.
The people, it's the people. It's all about that personal story.
Danica Lewis, News 3 Now.
The hygge way of living has been the topic of a number of books. Some people have even made their careers out of it, including a hygge wellness coach based right here in Madison.
And for more advice on embracing the concept, check out the story at channel3000.com.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now. You ready to hygge?
Whatever it takes to stay warm.
Right.
And our temperatures have moderated. I mean, today we were a lot better off than we were yesterday, but the trade-off was we had some light precipitation, and that led to some slippery road surfaces. And three things you need to know in the forecast. We'll see some flurries or a little bit of drizzle tomorrow afternoon with temperatures in the mid-30s. But some light snow is on the way, maybe with some freezing drizzle tomorrow night, so that could lead to another round of slippery road surfaces. And then colder weather still will arrive this weekend into the early part of next week. In fact, you see temperatures mid-30s for tomorrow, low 30s early in the day on Saturday, then the temperatures fall off, highs only in the low 20s on Sunday, mid-20s for Monday and Tuesday, and upper 20s toward the end of next week. So temperatures will certainly be cold. It'll be cold enough to keep snow on the ground. Doppler track shows snow across northern Wisconsin heading off to the east, enough to cause problems with a big traffic accident on I-94 near Eau Claire earlier today, and it brought several inches of snow to northern Wisconsin. But you can see there are the haves and the have-nots when it comes to the snow depth. Basically, the northern two-thirds of the state, about a half a foot to a foot or more of snow, 2 feet up toward Lake Superior. And then here in southern Wisconsin, no snow at all. There's more snow to the south of us, parts of northern Illinois from a weather system a couple of nights ago, than we have here in southern Wisconsin. So we're less than 2 weeks away from Christmas. The historical odds of us having a white Christmas, which is defined as an inch of snow on the ground, about a 50 to 60% chance south of Madison, 60 to 75% chance north of Madison, and about 75% chance or more north of the Dells. But you can see how much snow we had on the ground, and this is the forecast over the next 10 days. Very little snow is expected over southern Wisconsin, so it doesn't look like we're going to have a white Christmas if that trend continues. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, which takes us through December 26th, the day after Christmas, from the Climate Prediction Center, is calling for above normal temperatures, about a 50% chance of above normal temperatures here, and precipitation expected to be near normal for much of the central part of the country, just a slightly elevated chance of above normal precipitation to our south, drier than normal weather along the east coast, and weather than normal weather for the west. The mountain areas there will see a lot more snow. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Skies are just cloudy tonight. High today made it up to 39 after starting out at 16, and that was early this morning. The temperatures rose all night long, and right now we're sitting at 38 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. The air is calm, but there is colder air not far to our north and west. While Madison's at 38, La Crosse is at 22, and temperatures in the teens across northwestern Wisconsin and northern Minnesota. That cold air will stay just out to the west of us, so I think we'll still be in the mid-30s for tomorrow as the upper level winds kind of run parallel to a cold front, but farther up to the north, there's a little more cold air starting to build. Eventually, these weather systems that are moving in the west will move eastward across the country, and as they drop into southern Wisconsin by the latter part of tomorrow night into Saturday morning, that will bring down colder air. You can see that front just to our north and west, and on future track, lots of clouds expected for tomorrow, maybe some light precipitation in the form of some light snow showers or a little bit of freezing drizzle tomorrow night, and then colder weather for the weekend. 27 for the overnight low temperature. There could be a couple of flurries flurries or a little patchy freezing drizzle once those temperatures drop below freezing. Tomorrow's high 36, just cloudy skies for much of the day. Maybe a few flurries or a little drizzle in the afternoon. Future track, maybe a couple of breaks in the clouds late tonight. Otherwise, cloudy skies through tomorrow. That light snow just kind of fizzles that moves through tomorrow night, but there could be a little freezing drizzle mixed in. And then on Saturday, cloudy skies, but falling temperatures, and there's just a slight chance for some light snow or flurries. 7 to 10 day forecast. Colder for Sunday, high only 21. Maybe a couple of flurries late in the day on Monday, but otherwise, you can see while temperatures will be cold enough, if we had snow for it to stick around, there's not a lot of snow in that forecast, very little, just some flurry chances.
I'm trying to figure out what Christmas is coming up, the Tuesday after that, right?
The Tuesday, yeah.
Is
So
Christmas
Christmas
Eve.
Eve and
Christmas
Christmas is the Wednesday after.
So we might be green, at least the long-term forecast at this point.
Trending in that direction,
Oh, let's
just
hold
say.
out for a Christmas miracle, okay?
You
I'm
can
good
always,
without it. I'm good without it.
A Christmas miracle would have the snow falling on the grass and not on the roads for
Yes,
people traveling.
that would be all.
We
that's
can
always
hope
good.
for that as well. Nothing
There we
wrong.
go.
Okay, reach for the
Go
skies,
big.
right? Okay.
Jonathan Taylor making some history for the Badgers tonight. Collecting some hardware at the College Football Awards. That story next in sports.
call it a back-to-back win for Jonathan Taylor. JT winning the Doak Walker Award for the second year in a row. The award given to the best running back in the country. And this season, JT hit 6th on the all-time rushing list with 6,080 yards on the ground. But tonight, he talked about what motivates him to keep getting better despite all those records, and all while rocking some pretty sweet shoes on the red carpet. He explained why he changed up his look for tonight.
Really just wanted to try something different. I usually go like the classic business way, but just wanted to try something different this time. Consistency, I think that's one of the biggest things coming into my collegiate career. Just wanted to be a guy who was consistent, someone you can count on each and every single day, practice, game, every year.
And it doesn't end there. Tyler Biadasz also making history tonight, winning the first ever Remington Trophy for the Badgers. Now that award is given to the country's best center. The Amherst, Wisconsin native, only a junior, and he was actually a defensive lineman in high school. The women's basketball team has gotten off to a solid start with a 6-3 record. Now 2 games left in the non-conference schedule before the Big Ten starts, so time to get the final polishing touches on their game. Badgers hosting Alabama State tonight. Hornets are 3-4. First quarter, Sydney Hilliard, she'll get the ball back, knock down 3, the former cheesemaker, with 11 points. Badgers shooting 60% from 3 tonight. Nia Beverly helping the cause, a game-high 17 points for her. Then we got a quick inbound pass to Abby Leszewski for the bucket. She had 8 tonight. The Badgers moved to 7-3 on the season, beat the Hornets pretty easily, 85-67. Lots of college volleyball fans in town this weekend for the NCAA volleyball tournament because 3 of the 4 programs playing at the Fieldhouse tomorrow have some of the best fans in the country. Wisconsin has the 2nd highest attendance this season. Nebraska is 1st and Hawaii 3rd. So expect a lot of traffic around campus tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Badgers getting their final practice in today before hosting Texas A&M in front of a sellout crowd, something that has become pretty normal for this program.
2013, we averaged 3,512 fans, and we're over 7,000, so we've doubled. The people are actually in the seats for most of those matches. It's not just these guys; it's the players that have come before them. And this has always been a program that gets a lot of people in here. You know, top 5 in the country in attendance. I think what these guys have done is they've energized a fan base with how they play.
And tickets for all sessions sold out in 45 minutes on Monday. Wow. Single session tickets go on sale tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Now the winners of these 2 matches will play each other in the Elite 8 on Saturday at 5. Winner of that one goes to the Final Four in Pittsburgh next weekend. We'll be right back.
Here with a final check. Any chance for freezing drizzle tonight?
You know, we had a little bit midday today that caused some slippery road surface, especially bridges. Right now, temperatures are still pretty far above freezing here in Madison, but you don't have to go too far to the north and west to see those temperatures drop off. So as we start turning colder later tonight, if there are some flurries or a little patchy freezing drizzle, there could be a few slippery spots, especially on bridges, overpasses that haven't been treated. But we definitely will turn colder over the weekend. Pretty quiet weather for next week, but not much in the way of accumulating snow chances that I see in the 10-day forecast.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.